Hmm. Salutations, class, and welcome back. It's already the middle of the week, can you believe it? We're back onto another one of our classics with the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion, and seeing a couple of suggestions that we've gotten from some viewers lately, I think this might actually be one of the last weeks we do some of our regular stuff for a bit. I'd like to spread out and do a couple of new games starting next week, which might include some old ones, some currently popular ones, and we'll see. But you can always expect Guilty Gear. But tonight, you should be expecting Oblivion. Which, there we go. Now, last we left off, we were focusing on the Mages Guild questline. Here we have a quest to travel to Nenyond Twill, which is a short distance south of the Imperial City. We have some Necromancers for us to intercept, and while we might not look the part of Dashing Mage, we certainly act the part. Would it be appropriate for us to switch over to some mage robes? We did... Let's see, there's the robe of warding there. But we should have recently acquired a mage robe that enabled us to have a little bit of extra protection. And possibly buffing our stats little by little. South. Now, the red arrow here is actually going to direct us towards that gate, and try to get us to go across the main gate of the Imperial City, and the mega bridge going towards the western side. But, if I remember correctly... No, I think the bridge is over there, and there should be, somewhat towards the south here, some shallow waters that shouldn't be an issue for us to get through. And a good evening to you, Siphon. Welcome. Finally here for an Oblivion stream. Really? Have you not been here before? Someone mentioned Elder Scrolls recently. Was it you, I believe? Elder Scrolls is a huge favorite of mine, and I do look forward to playing more of it in the future. Expect there to be Skyrim streams in time. I did just order a new SSD, which should help with a lot of my loading issues. Assuming that works perfectly as planned. Oh, right. We had our overpowered weapon here. Did we have Soul Trap, though? Ah, we can't even apply it. Do we have a poison for that? I wonder if Soul Trap is available as a poison effect. But I'd probably need a better graphics card before we'd eventually get to some sort of a, Skyrim stream. Which I do look forward to, and would probably hit the healthiest balance of both a game that I want to play... Oh, wrong button. Hold that. Hold this, and you too. A little bit of destruction practice. Ah, did I have that bound to health potions? Seems we have run out. Very well. Our feather potions should do us a lot of work for carrying some stuff back to the city, however. You'll also notice, now that we have gotten far enough outside of the Imperial City, that our red arrow is now directing us in the correct direction. Remember telling me to play it, but whenever I streamed it, you were doing something. Is that a... Okay. That is a highwayman right there. And now there are no more. Using our proper spell combos. That does leave us with a little bit of reduced health, though. I suppose it's no crime to actually just use a couple of healing spells between fights. So Skyrim is one of my all-time favorites, and it's popular. So I do have high aspirations for whenever I do have a chance to begin streaming that, as I do believe that would be a very good vector for me to score some success, and some recognition. I'm happy to see that even though we didn't have a new subscriber at the end of last night's stream, we somehow have gotten one in the past day. So, wonderful news for us. And starting with Ranbo tomorrow, we should have a lot of new games that we're picking up. My SSD will be coming in soon, so we'll also be able to return to our playthrough alongside Dr. Cave for Halo. Primrose. Now what does this do? Restore willpower, personality, and fortify luck. Not necessarily effects we need, but effects we can brew into potions together and get some very useful effects out of them. Now, there on the compass is an MMORPG or just an RPG. Are we talking about Skyrim, or what are we talking about? Skyrim is just an RPG. Elder Scrolls Online is the MMO version, which by rule, I just never have been able to find myself liking an MMO. Oblivion. Oblivion is single player. All Elder Scrolls games are. Or, as I said, all of them except for Elder Scrolls Online. But the mainline ones made by Bethesda are all single player games. Elder Scrolls Blades doesn't count. That's just a silly little mobile app. Loading screen. I think you know what that means. Ah, this is one of my favorite parts.
You, what are you doing here?
I also think the mic gain might be a bit low. Let's turn that up. There. I should be properly audible here.
Fifth Raga, battle mage, sent by the council to find this traitor. He must have told them we were coming. We've got to get our hands on him before he tells them anything else. Who the blazes are you, anyway? Has the council gone mad, sending you here alone? There's no time. The others, they were waiting for us. They knew we were coming. I'm the only one left. The Necromancers retreated further in, but we've got to follow them. There's no time to waste. Follow me.
At your lead, Bosmer. Vithragar, the only surviving battle mage, is now dead. I'll need to continue on my own into the ruins to find Musiana's alias. Everyone remembers this moment. Oh, right. He'll still be triggering the pressure plate, as he is still landing upon it here. Let's see if we can just... I'll take that. We don't want any of the heavy armor. This game is from 2007. 2006. What was my grab button? Let's go ahead and give him a bit more of a dignified end. Controls. Grab is Q. Curious. And welcome, Leviathan. I'm glad you know exactly my favorite part of this as well. Oh, real quick. This will be a challenge for us, but it is one that we are up to. Huh, do we not have enough strength to grab him? I've got a different idea. Spells that have an area of effect also push away objects, so... one more should do it. You know, I'm surprised he hasn't been turned into a hamburger patty by now. There we go, let's get you out of here. Here, by the fire. The warmth shall send you to rest. And speaking of rest, gotta love that they had to have you manipulate that Havoc physics engine. They were so proud of it right at the beginning of 2006 when physics engines were a new thing that just started coming out. Ah, there we go. Rest well, friend. A little foolish of him. He is a battle mage, so he should have been prepared. Oh, wow. He's dead in one hit. So, let this be a lesson for anyone who'd like to act irresponsibly in class. After all, we have the professor's yardstick here. That's a very cool story. You too. Necromancer's robes we don't want. We actually might try to put on some mage robes here in the future, just to sell the proper aesthetics soon. Although there isn't really a point to taking off the light armor at this point anymore. We have approached nearly 95%, which is the maximum spell effectiveness you can have while in armor. And the very important damage resistance we get is going to be powerful. Welcome, Decursion. Good evening to you. So far, it is going well. We have just landed inside of a dungeon, and we have a couple of necromancers we're trying to get. Again, we've obtained the skeleton key, so we don't really have to worry about picking locks. And another hammer of numbing. We seem to be getting a lot of low damage frost weapons lately. Oh, wait. Perhaps I was a little too hasty. What do you think of Elden Ring? I have not yet played it. I've mostly avoided trying to pick it up, as I know I would be hopelessly addicted to it. And I have a couple of things I need to be attending to, including preparing these streams. But given the universally positive reception of the game, I might go ahead and pick it up if you all would like to see an Elden Ring stream. I am, of course, a Dark Souls veteran, as you would expect, so I should be able to handle myself easily in a game like that. Get rid of the zombies, and those probably fire spells at us. Usually the red glow from those crystals is something you want to avoid. Indeed, I do have 2 arms, and so do you. We'll take that staff. That will be worth a lot of money when we sell it. Very well. I will probably buy it soon, and see if it doesn't destroy my computer when I try to run it. I did elect to not stream it, as I do believe it would have been buried just like when I was trying to stream Halo. That one we got absolutely no new viewers with, and in fact actually lost a couple of subscribers, just, I don't know. I guess no one was looking for Halo content at the time. Ah, hi Musianus. He's been transformed into some kind of walking dead. There's nothing I can do for him. I should report his fate to Hannibal Traven at the Arcane University. Well, like with our Bosmer friend, we can at least send Musianus off to his rest. Oh, wow, he has a lot of health. Where are our... Greater souls in there. Let's go ahead and take a couple of petty ones. And a little trophy from him. Performance even with the 3060 sucks. Wow. Yeah, that would definitely be troublesome alongside a... There's gotta be a button to raise these. That would definitely be very troublesome alongside having to run a VTuber rig. I probably wouldn't be able to run it. Wait, a 3060? A 3060 isn't going to be that great in power. With those, with the way the TI numbers are organized, the first part of the series, the 10, 20, 30, is what part of the series it is, but the latter numbers are the more important ones. A 3060 would actually probably have less power than the 1070 I have. Or roughly comparable power, given that it is 2 series ahead. Nonetheless, I will play it eventually, so I suppose no harm done if I purchased it now.
Do your worst.
Alright. That's my worst. Do you want my second worst? I can definitely make it easier for you. No enticing books for us there, but they do keep plenty of chests around. Full of potions, left and right. Step on this, and we should have an exit prepared. There we go. Let me out. Good night, sweet prince. So he did talk about how there were a lot of necromancers waiting for him in the dungeon, but... Did he come alone? I thought he was speaking plurally in reference to himself. Really, the ogre makes bear sounds when he attacks. That's curious. Ogre teeth are also incredibly heavy, so they do not serve as a very useful alchemy ingredient. We shall proceed out of here. Get myself a little bit of health. Yeah, I'm aware of the stream delay. It shouldn't be 30 seconds though, it should be more like 5. Wonder what would be causing that. Well, it is happening both ways, I suppose. We should no longer be followed. Yeah, there's our light. That's right. In Oblivion, it was before Skyrim, and the spells that you could use actually would level up your skills no matter where you use them. It was starting in Skyrim that they actually had to have a tangible effect in order to score you some EXP. For example, destruction spells would only level up if you used them and they dealt damage in combat, starting in Skyrim. In Morrowind and Oblivion, you could just use them willy-nilly, forever. Forever and wherever. And you would still level up. Which, on that note, we should probably get a little bit of experience with our conjuration here. Sick 'em, boy.
You move like a pregnant. This is the part where you fall down.
And there he goes. So, do that again.
This is the part.
Conjuration actually levels a lot faster than basically any other magic skill, so it shouldn't be difficult at all to get it up. Though I forget why exactly I was focused on conjuration. Maybe because it does serve as the closest analogy we might have to a mad scientist sending out his machinations into the world, or gross experiments. If only it was like Morrowind and we had a spell to summon a Dwemer machine. But those don't even exist at all in Oblivion. Yeah, I have a 1070 graphics card, and that's probably the furthest behind of all the things that I have. They were all interrupted. Yep, and that's why we keep the scamp around. He manages to shut up our enemies. Curious little double bridge here. Oh, what now? Oh, it's probably just this mud crab. Yeah, music is back to normal. I'd love to do I'd love to do a Morrowind stream sometime. But unfortunately, I don't think that would garner much of a viewership unless I already had one. So right now, I might actually take a moment to go ahead and redirect myself towards whatever games could get me a bit forward. Chances are I will be buried if I'm playing Elden Ring, but it's worth a shot at the very least, right? My biggest boost was when Baiken came out for Strive, as I do stream fighting games pretty regularly, and lucky I was at that point in time. It happened to be both a very big update for a game, a tournament, and I have been playing a niche game there. Everyone's playing Elden Ring right now, but fighting games are a little bit niche, so I had a bit of an easier time getting some viewership there. So obviously, whenever we next have any sort of big updates to Strive, I'll do a lot of stuff. You do get you should get, I believe, it was individual flask refills, and you should have 3 available. I think the pattern is 1 right after the first boss, the second one right before the second boss, and I think there's 1 more right before the final boss.
Greetings, Guildmaid. I'll pay handsomely if you can procure...
Oh, wrong person.
Take care.
We need to speak directly to Traven, and that is labeled as trespassing.
What news of your task? Your face looks grim.
And so do you. The shading really highlights the wrinkles on the side of your face.
What? By the 9, and there was nothing you could do for him?
He's dead.
What a horrible fate. I cannot imagine how they could do that to him. So many lives lost. I thank you for trying to save him. Before
What
we
do we have
continue,
next?
you should speak to Raminus Polus about your advancement within the guild.
Oh, of course.
Take care.
Well met, Guildmaid.
Now I have to go searching for him, wherever he is. I think it's starting with 4 BC, that you don't get any flask refills whatsoever. It's 8 a.m. Where is Reminisce? He might be in the mage quarters, but if he's elsewhere, I'm not sure where his schedule takes him.
Well met, Guildmate.
Not you. Oh! Well, there he is.
I hope I can help. You are a magician no more. Guild members shall now address you as Warlock. Congratulations.
Wonderful.
Your tasks now come directly.
Funny that we have to speak to him
Well
for
met,
advancement,
Guildmate.
but then
Well
turn
met,
right
Guildmate.
around to talk to Hannibal Traven for tasks now. James,
Greetings,
good evening,
Guildmate.
and welcome.
Greetings, Warlock.
Greetings, Warlock.
Warlock. I do love the sound of that.
There is an urgent matter which requires your personal attention. This task falls to you and only you.
Let me hear it.
Are you prepared to begin?
Funny that they usually ask before that happens.
Count Hasseldor of Skingrad has contacted the Council. He claims to have information that is vital to us. He has requested that you personally travel to Skingrad to obtain this information. I cannot stress how important it is that our relationship with Hasseldor be preserved. I expect you to visit him immediately.
Well, visit him I will
Count
do.
Hasseldor awaits your arrival.
Greetings, Master.
Greetings, Guildmaid.
Other side. There we go. Now, this is a road we've traveled multiple times, and I don't think there's anything interesting left for us to find there, so let us proceed directly to Castle Skingrad. Actually, there is Clavicus Vile's Shrine, and a very special quest we can do there.
Good morning.
In fact, it would actually be good to continue our pattern of one Daedric quest per stream,
Please, by all means.
whenever possible.
You are here to see the Count, yes? He has been expecting you. Please, wait here. I shall inform him of your arrival.
And you're definitely a lot more helpful than Mr. Symmetrical from the previous few quests. Funny how the portrait here also depicts the sort of odd Oblivion models, but maybe it's the painting filter. This one doesn't look quite so horrible.
Oh, hello.
Green arrow just turned red, so it should be just a short moment before they return. Ranbo next week. I did see your suggestions, James. In fact, I am going to try to look at as many of them as I can, and starting next week we might have a, mostly, new schedule to deal with. I'm not sure when we're getting back to the Everhood bosses. I do want to do a little bit of a boss rush afterwards, since there's so many bonus bosses in that game. But other than that, we can definitely let Dead Cells and Oblivion rest for a bit while we try to pick up a couple of new games in our stead. What do you got for me?
Hi there. The Count is on his way. Please remain here and be patient.
Patient I am.
Welcome, Guild Mage. We meet again.
Very well.
although in
A
different
little
circumstances.
impatient.
I fear this time you may find the results no more to your liking than the last. Less so, perhaps. The information I have for your guild will not be met with smiles and handshakes, I fear.
Oh dear. What's going on here?
I have called you here because, from our previous encounter, I believe you can be trusted. Consider the implications of that as you handle a small matter for me.
Very well.
Surprised? Nothing is for free, Mage. There is a small nuisance I would have you deal with before I tell you what I know. One good turn deserves another, after all.
All right.
It is a minor situation, to be sure, but neither I nor my guards can become directly involved.
Out with it, man. Stop
A
making
nest
me
of
wait.
Vampires has sprung up in Blood Crust Cavern, southeast of the town. They are a threat to the town and must be eliminated. Their presence has drawn a group of vampire hunters to town, following rumors of vampires in Skingrad. While I do not believe my identity has been compromised, I do not wish to take any chances, and so cannot act on either matter. You, however, can act with impunity, and so will take care of this for me. Then, I will tell you what I know.
Sounds like a relatively fair exchange. Why do the wrinkles start with the center of your face and then sort of
A pleasure to speak.
dissipate around the sides?
I shall await your return.
Greetings, honored
Yeah,
friend.
look at his face. Hold on, we'll need to see him from the side. Although he's probably walking back to his quarters, we're not going to get a good look at him. Vampires in Elder Scrolls are awfully wrinkly creatures. At least, starting from this game, they are. Welcome, Kayla. Good evening to you. We have a little bit of espionage to deal with. Our friendly advisor in Skingrad needs some people off his tail. And then we'll get back to fighting necromancers, which I suppose is also appropriate of a divine crusader.
Well met. Spare a coin for the infirm.
Right, we have to
I'm so
roleplay.
hungry. Thank you, kind sir. Blessings of Julianus upon me.
Divine Crusader, away. The rule is, if we're going to adopt this mantle, we need to donate every time someone asks for a coin. Glarthier, that's a bit of an odd quest we can return to at some point in the future. A bit of a humorous one as well, and an all-time favorite of a lot of folk. Indeed, the Bosmer here was...
Not another
Oh
one.
boy.
Ahem. Citizen of Skingrad, please be advised that I am here on official business and wish no harm. Oh, forget it. Let me guess. You're worried about what my men and I are doing here in town, right?
Yeah?
You have my assurance that my men and I will do everything in our power to keep the people of Skingrad safe. We're here to help. If you have seen anything unusual, particularly anything implying the presence of the undead here in town, please report it at once. If you know anything, it is in your best interest to tell me now. After all, your town is at stake.
We can direct them
Do you know
straight
where
to
the
Bloodcrust
vampires
Cavern, right? Yes, okay.
Is that so? Well, perhaps we'll have to pay them a little visit. Thanks for the tip, friend.
I do believe that should get them out of town, right?
Hello again, citizen. What is it you want to know? Watch your back, citizen.
Remove the vampire hunters, as well as a nest of vampires in Bloodcrust Cavern outside of town.
Hello again. I've got my men scattered all over town. Shamar's up by the statue. Vontus is out in the high pasture. And Karsten has the town exit near the castle covered. If you've already told... Watch your back, citizen.
Alright, we have a quest marker over all of the boys now, so... You guys should be departing. Maybe it just requires a little bit of time.
Hello.
Let's go ahead and wait a couple hours and see if anything changes. Loading screen is good. That usually means that a bunch of fellows have swapped out.
How are you?
Indeed, they seem to be on the move. Well, while they go handle Bloodcrest Cavern, wonder what else we should do around here.
I'm David.
Wrong person.
Goodbye.
I'm just doing my job.
Okay. He's a little unusually angry at us for about no reason. There's a green arrow over here, so...
Hello again. If...
Watch your back, citizen.
He doesn't seem to be directly going to Bloodcrest Cavern. So... I guess we can just head there ourselves? After all, we are equipped with a silver sword. So we do have a good weapon against undead. Suppose we'll have to take care of the problem ourselves, and we might still be able to get them off his back. This is our horse, and we will ride you there. For as short of a trip as it might be. Vampire hunting again. You remember how that went last time, of course. There's also... Right. That's the one we closed. And I believe this is... Yeah, this is the cave. Kind of obvious that vampires would be hiding out in a place called Bloodcrest Cavern. It's a little too obvious. When we spoke to Eridor, it sounded like he already knew where this was going to be. Oh no, I already saw where you were. Just look for where the blood splatters are coming out. Hey, that's a silver sword. You're not supposed to hold that. Worth a decent sum of money. We'll take the vampire dust as always. Karen Ballet. I forgot why that was important. Oh. They summoned Dremora. That's different. Yeah. Yep. And done with. Oh, that puts us over our encumbrance, but luckily for us, we came with many, many feather potions. Which let us hoard even more things for us to take back. A little horse riot with their desires, it seems. Now let's see, what are our... There we go. There's our Restore Magicka. Now I can get by with a little bit of healing. And summon a scamp while we're at it. In fact, that'll actually keep us regenerating Magicka for a while, so... we can go ahead and see if we can rapidly cast our healing spell just to make most use of it. There is a technique. If you block while casting, it's actually slightly faster. For no discernible reason whatsoever.
Your presence here will not
Yeah, if you ever get a good look at him, you see they have very, very wrinkly faces. Although it is kind of dissonant with the rest of their skin color. You see how her face was incredibly pale, but the rest of her, well, appropriately, since she's a Redguard, the rest of her wouldn't be pale, but kind of very weird facial textures in this game. This is definitely the game where vampires are overall the ugliest. In Skyrim post-Dawnguard, they're also ugly, but they sort of had a specific aesthetic that they're trying to go for there. And one I think they handle very well. Monk robe. we definitely might be thinking about picking up something else that we could use. Although actually a robe, surprisingly, isn't very good for enchanting, since it takes up the same slots that it would if you were wearing pants or a shirt. You actually get fewer things to enchant if you're trying to do a robe, since you can't enchant specific items with different degrees of effects, like how you could in Morrowind. In Morrowind, you could enchant a robe with basically twice the effects that you could of a shirt and pants. And even on top of that, you could wear them all together. But in this one, robes are actually one of the worst things for enchanting.
You there! Stop where you are!
Yeah, just swing towards the swing in the direction of voices, since they're looking for me. And they are going to be invisible most of the time. We are in trouble. Yep, he's still after me. Let's go ahead and take one of those potions.
Die, damn you!
You can hear him going gung-ho. Distraction. And then I should have... That did a little bit for us. We might want to try to invest in a stronger absorb health spell. Have we not contracted a disease in this entire time? We might actually be in the clear. I don't know that I've seen a message saying we contracted porphyric hemophilia, I believe is what it's called in this game. Or was it porrific? Oh, porphyric. Indeed. We should be able to get our hands on cured disease relatively soon. And the zombie also gave us a disease. The vampires in Bloodcrest Cavern have been disposed of. Now I need to deal with the vampire hunters. And we almost died. Luckily, we still seem to be in the clear. See, I like the design of this dungeon, as it sort of has a roughly circular shape. You'll see if we look on the local map here, we had a route that went around the entire thing, and there were still enemies in every direction on every side. Let's go ahead and get another one of those feather potions, and get our way out of here. The dungeons in Skyrim basically all follow the exact same format. Something along the lines of a long trek downward that at the end has a shortcut back to the entrance. Which seems a little odd. Why is it that every single dungeon has, like, a one-way door with, like, a pulling lever and a rock that moves out of the way? Sometimes it makes sense. Say, if you had some of the Nord holdouts, and while most of those were established as cities, you might want a quick one-way path to escape if you were ever invaded, for example. But like, your average bandit cave somehow has some engineering applied to it? Never made sense to me. And honestly, I didn't like the design of it. It's very comfortable for gameplay, but
Head on.
philosophically, I disagree with it. Alright,
Hi
where's the
there.
vampire hunters? We're not looking for him. The red arrow there designates someone outside of the castle. So presumably, the other guy we're looking for should be the southernmost arrow of the green one, since Eredor, I believe, is still supposed to be inside of the city. A bit late at night, but... well, if he is looking for vampires, he'll have to be a little nocturnal, isn't he?
Hello again, citizen. You've already... And what? I'm supposed to take your word for it? Sorry, friend, but I'll need some sort of proof. You got any proof?
Yeah.
Well,
How about this?
maybe you're not lying after all. If they're gone, then there's no point in hanging around here. Damned amateurs. You people should leave it to the professionals.
I gave you a 4-hour head start, and I still did it before you.
To what do I owe this pleasure?
Professional. I laugh at him. I'm the Divine Crusader. Good evening, heroes, and welcome. Should be no issue. Sometimes we do have to say goodbye when I start playing Oblivion. On release, or are you talking about on stream? I was already an Elder Scrolls fanboy by the time this game came out. I played Morrowind a few years prior, so when I heard there was another Elder Scrolls game coming out, I had to be on that bandwagon. As for when I started playing it on stream, it was actually the second game I ever played. But back then I wasn't getting any viewership whatsoever, so no one really showed up back then. If there ever is a much larger viewer base for this, then I might start a new profile altogether. Possibly. And leave the Divine Crusader stuff for much, much later.
Please.
And there's no issue with not being able to say goodnight, heroes. At least not on my end. I do imagine it is a little upsetting to be there or not be there when someone misses a stream. Tonight, you could say goodbye twice, I guess. But I'm glad to see you here again. And yet another Oblivion Gate on our radar. Just over the hill. Yep, there it is. See, even the PC is upset. He gave his grunt of disapproval. Ah, this is the one that shows up inside a little graveyard here. Again, they're not really doing anything, except changing the color of the sky. So we will have to pass a bit of time. I suppose for the sake of a good roleplay, we could just go find an inn and spend the night in there. I don't know if that has any use in Oblivion. In Skyrim, it actually gives you an experience buff for a little bit, but I think we're just about out of potion too. Yep, there we go. Luckily, I have a lot of those. So it's not an issue carrying around all this stuff. Sure as heck doesn't look like 10 PM out here. The sky is awfully bright.
Hello.
Ah, here's the inn. Pay these lovely folks some gold.
I'm Maud Bramogak, proprietor of Two Sisters Lodge. My sister and I own the place. Two sisters, see? Need a bed? Good food?
I'll just take the bed, Fiona, thank you.
You need some place to rest? I can rent you a room for the night for 10 gold. Okay then. It's upstairs, the room at the east end of the hall. That's to your right when you come out the door. Enjoy.
10 gold, they were cheap in this game.
You too.
I think they did up the price quite a bit in Skyrim, or maybe I've just played too long, with my overhauls that make it a bit more difficult. This is the one. Not bad. Oh, right. No, I've got a cure disease potion. Again, we seem to forget that every single time. But no harm done. We are not a vampire. Absolutely not. Not happening. That is twice we've made that mistake. Perhaps getting some resist disease is in order. Go ahead and drop a new save on there just in case. And we should be good to talk to Count James Hasseldor now. Although, allegedly, he would be asleep during the day, being a vampire. The steward, however, should be available. And that's who we need to talk to.
You have completed your tasks for the Count, have you not? Then, please, wait here while I inform him.
Greetings!
In fact, I'd say that's actually an excellent time for me to go ahead and grab a drink. So, I will not tap out of the game as that ends up pausing it. Watch Xander have an existential crisis as I go off to get myself another drink.
May your kills be quick and many.
This scent is foul.
What is it now?
I bought some wine from Gaston Surelay a few days ago. I was very impressed by it.
Gaston and his brother produce quality wines. I'll have to pick up some more.
Interesting.
Heavens no, I would never allow myself to do that, Siphon. At least, not for a game I love. And lo and behold, what perfect immaculate timing we've had.
Discuss the information I have for you.
Alright. What do you have for me?
Your guild does not fully appreciate the danger which quickly approaches. Hopefully when you return to them, their eyes will be opened. The Necromancers are a sign of things to come. An old acquaintance of the guild has come to Cyrodiil, and they are answering his call.
Drum roll, please.
While I do not know for quite what purpose he has arrived, I believe the Guild of Mages is in great danger. Mana Marco has returned.
Bam! There's the reveal.
Invincible. He has established himself somewhere in the north of Cyrodiil. This is all that I know. See to it that your leader, Traven, learns this as soon as possible. I have no love for your guild, but I have no wish to see it destroyed either.
Sure thing, Edgelord. Thank you for your help.
Return to your guild.
This is
So, there's the big reveal. Manimarco, the King of Worms, the first and most powerful necromancer who ascended to godhood, has returned. I actually don't know if I've had any streams lasting for that little of a time, Siphon. I think there might have been a Guilty Gear stream that I deleted lasting for that little bit of a time. Might have been, technical difficulties basically the entire time. Though, Leviathan, do please explain to me the context on no one making wine like Gaston. I don't get it.
My pleasure, really.
Talk to the Fighters Guild here just to get a bit of repairing done.
I hope I can help. Can't go into battle with broken equipment.
Very true. Very true.
Farewell.
Now, while we're here, we might want to look for... Here it is. A generic trait. Someone in the back talking about a Gaston. Oh, Gaston Cerile.
Good morning.
What can I do for you, Sir Knight?
Get a less squashed pancake face, please.
Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Sell this. Ooh. Not a bad staff. Not bad at all. But we don't need it.
That seems a fair price.
We don't need that. Is there anything else weighing us down a lot? We might actually want to swap out or even put up the sword soon. Right, fortify endurance. We don't really need that. We don't need damage willpower either.
That's a fair deal.
Or a burden poison. A damage health poison, though, we definitely want. No.
You
No.
drive a hard bargain.
And I do believe that's everything.
A good
We can
price
afford to sell
for
a couple
good
of books that we've
customer.
already read. The ones that give us spells. Minor life detection. I feel like we might not have read those yet. And sell the topaz.
Take care.
Because that's literally the purpose of gemstones, is to be sold.
Please, by all means.
Now, we may of course make our way back to the Imperial City, but let's take ourselves a couple of stops first. First and foremost, get me back to the Priory of the Nine. I'd like to put up one sword and repair the rest of our equipment. But this time... Oh, right, we did just get rid of the robe.
Greetings, Sir Knight.
We might, however, have one in the chest here. Right, there it is, the Robe of the Conjurer. Which would be a bit more appropriate, since we are doing a bit of a mage build right now. Place all relics. Take all. And then we'll put back the mace. But this time, we'll also put back the sword, since we are using the Professor's yardstick instead. Would it be better to just actually go around as a mage instead? We do have a very effective set of equipment here, though. it is essentially our most effective path that we can take, so I suppose we'll stick with it. Don't need the base ring of feather now. Now we can swap it out for a bit of shock shield.
Commander. Yes, Commander?
Which both raises our resistance to electricity and our defense. 42% damage reduction. Indeed, I am a dark elf. And most importantly, he has very similar hair to myself, so that was the objective here. Clavicus Vile Shrine. Reasons for being a dark elf is because historically they do have a lot of bonuses towards offensive spellcasting, namely destruction, which is one of our most used skills. We definitely have not been doing much of the sneaking or speechcraft though. What waste of skills for us to pick. Perhaps we'll not do the same next time we're playing. Now, this little fella is somewhere on the pathway between Skingrad and the Imperial City. Demands a more powerful champion. So, no, we cannot do that quest yet. I do think we have to be level 10, which, oh! We need to be even stronger than level 10. I wonder what the barrier for entry for that is. Let me actually look that one up. UESP, Oblivion, Clavicus Vile. What are the prerequisites for his little quest here? Required 20. And that's right, Harris. You did, show up from one of our Oblivion streams. I've actually been playing a lot of Morrowind lately off-stream, and I very much want to begin a Morrowind playthrough sometime. Although, more appropriately, an Enwa would be anyone who is not a Dark Elf. Although a Dark Elf could also be an Enwa. That up there is Bruma, I believe. How lovely that you can actually see all of the architecture. All of the landscape. There's the Dural Mountains up there, which border between Cyrodiil and Skyrim. Mountains southeast. I actually don't remember much of mountains down here either. Huh, I thought Cyrodiil was mostly flat land. Seems I was wrong. Also, we're being chased by a rat who probably can't catch up to us. Look at the little change of colors in the landscape. Sort of autumn trees as we get up towards the Dural Mountains up there. That's the only city we can see directly from here, it seems. Coral should be probably hidden behind those mountains over there. And then from the Imperial City, probably Breville is the only other one that we can see. Take a nice little stroll through here. Most importantly, there's a couple of alchemy ingredients we can still pick up. Yeah, Hero of Kvatch. Heard it before. Lived it. Been there.
Everybody needs a copy of the Black
Not a pleasant place. Most of it was on fire. Right.
I'm so hungry.
Beggar here, so we have to donate.
Sir. Blessings of Julianus upon you.
And we're off. To pick yet more mushrooms.
Hi there.
Kind of, just standing in the middle of the alleyway. Definitely doing nothing illicit here. A little mysterious. Welcome to the most useless part of the Imperial City. Nothing interesting to be happening here. There's a couple of things you can pick, but that's really the only purpose this place serves. Fly Amanita is important as it has a restore health effect, so we can use it for a lot of healing potions. Now we need to remember what else. Delicious sesame burger bun mushrooms. With all the little spots on them, yeah. Although they could also be a super mushroom from Mario. Eat enough of them and I should grow taller.
What is it, citizen?
They do look like burger buns. God, one of the most popular mods ever for Oblivion was called Midas Magic, and it added a secondary magic shop right here at the entrance to the Arcane University. Lots of peculiar spells there.
Greetings, Guildmaid.
What's going
In
on
fact,
with
they
you?
did try to make a sequel for Skyrim, but it had
Hello,
much less
Guildmaid.
interesting effects.
Greetings, Warlock.
What news from Skingrad? I assume you've spoken to Count Hasseldor?
Indeed, Oh, right.
What? Is that possible? This is grave news indeed. I had, perhaps foolishly, believed that necromancy was all but stamped out in Cyrodiil. It seems I couldn't have been more mistaken. I shall need to consult the council as to how to proceed with this situation. Thank you for the information. It may save many lives.
I think this is where he tells
My
us to
attention
wait.
is focused on the council right now. I will need you soon enough. I need more time.
Right. Nothing we can do.
Hello, Warlock.
So, you wanna take the back path for Clavicus Files quest? It gives us a very, I think that's 9, very important weapon. Ah, heck. We gotta waste time somehow. No harm in fast traveling there. There's nothing interesting for us to find between points A and B.
Welcome to Pell's Gate, friend. I don't like to think about zombies. Missing arms, legs, heads. They smell awful. And they're hard to kill. Take care.
What wonderful and interesting
Welcome
conversation.
to Pell's Gate, friend.
Could you, maybe
Be seeing you.
stand on
Welcome
the other
to
side of
Pell's
the brush
Gate,
here?
friend. Those who live by the commands of the Nine receive blessings of strength when they visit way shrines of Tiber Septim. You too.
Hail!
Ah, no one has any interesting information for us. I do believe it is that one Aliad ruin that was just a short distance from here. Ah, it's a different one. west of Pell's Gate. So, we're gonna cheat a little bit. And we're gonna get one of the best swords in the game about 9 levels earlier than we should be expecting to. But there is a valid reason for us to be doing this. Vindazel. Alright! So it is a place we've already discovered. Now, earlier, we were using the Professor's Yardstick. Not to much effect, as it still needs to be recharged. Example being, were I to fight this bandit here, we're completely out of weapon charge. Block.
Die, damn you!
Otherwise, that would have gone over in about 3 swings. Would have been much easier. Now, our mysticism level. All of the bandits look sad. It's Oblivion. Welcome, Broham. Good evening to you. No, you get back here. Take those, and didn't look like she wanted to mug me. Well, she still initiated combat and attempted to chase me down while I was on horseback, which is a very bizarre choice. Oh wait, you're an Altmer. I could just do that. Always make sure to check them. They could have a very expensive item on their person. 2,000. I wonder why water walking was always such an expensive effect. That is a trap floor, so we will avoid it. Nothing useful on rat meat. Excuse me. So we won't be taking that either. Oh, right. There's poison gas in this room. Look, man, my AI is making me do this. I don't want to fight you. The computer says I have to. Give us a couple more heals and continue downward. Indeed, here we are. Any of you Oblivion veterans should recognize this place.
Get out of here while you can. You risk much by speaking to me. You should leave this place. Now.
And nothing we can say to her.
The blade, it hungers for souls.
I forget, do we get an assault charge if we attack her immediately?
Umbra shall feed.
No. But we could afford to use a couple of poisons. Oh, wow, she just outright knocked us down. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Quick. Offer blood sacrifice. You said you wanted souls. Look, there's a soul right there. Now, I highly doubt you have any black soul gems on your person. Keep going, keep going. See if we can lead her into the poison. There, that's a start. Luckily, we can mostly outrun her, and as long as we keep running... Never mind, she is still very much catching up to us. Luckily, we have enough spell absorption that occasionally when she does hit us, we basically get a full magic bar. Go! There's a soul right there. Take that one. You don't want me, you want him. Okay, fine.
Let's get this over with. I'm just warming up. Pathetic worm. I'm just warming up. Pathetic worm. I'm just warming up. You worm.
You seem awfully keen on telling me that exact same situation over and over again. Very well. Here, have another sacrifice.
You'll never take me down. This ends here.
There, that's one poison. Let's get another one on here. And another one. And hopefully that is enough to make her collapse here in just a moment. Like that. Just like that. We will take everything, and we will not be wearing the ebony equipment here. Wow. We've already lost basically the durability on all of our items. Go ahead and just drop these, since... I forget. What is the key to drop things? I forgot what the key was to drop things. Well, we can at least do it one by one by holding the attack button. Wait, no, we want those. We don't want this, however. And there we have it. And it's one-handed in this game. I forgot. So, here's Umbra, probably the highest damage sword in the game. If you don't count enchantments which tack on extra damage. Now, the important thing about Umbra here is the Soul Trap effect, which it has a lot of uses of. With that, we can very readily recharge our Professor's Yardstick, as well as our Mage's Staff. As for how we knew about such a special sword in a place like that, I think it's better to not think about it. let's continue on down to Breville and work on our Fighters Guild contract, since it might be a day or two before we're able to return to the Mages Guild. Yeah. And this time by horseback. It is nice to occasionally have some time to just go on a cruise by horse, as it does open up more opportunities to have some sort of conversation without the stream itself being too busy. These are already quite relaxing and laid-back streams, but it's nice to have a bit more downtime during them. Especially since it does essentially serve as a chance for me to take a drink. Normally we just do that in loading screens, but what is this travel if not a long loading screen of its own volition? Huh, the boar was trying to attack us, but didn't change the music. Curious. This isn't quite Gaming Horse yet. It's definitely Gaming Horse once we, head up to Shaden Hall and buy one of the black horses there, which are the fastest ones in the game, barring a specific horse you get from a quest. Here's scene. Funny that there's two Daedric shrines so close together. Let's get ourselves back on the road. Actually, let's test it out. That is a very healthy amount of damage. Or, opposite, unhealthy for him. I don't know which soul gem that filled. The RGB Gamer Horse. Now that I'd like to see. I wonder if there's any mods for that. Get a bit more healing off, and why are my sound effects not playing? Let's continue. I suppose it is a little dissonant now that we are the Divine Crusader, and are using a sword that traps souls. So I guess this is the start of our villain arc, isn't it? After all, if we do plan on completing a significant portion of the game, we should eventually be right. Is this the grove? There it is! Check it out. Unicorn. But the unicorn will be trying to fight us for the moment, so let's skip that for now. We are handling the Fighters and Mages Guild first, but later on, we might actually put that sneak investment to use. And do a little bit of thievery. That is a valid interpretation, James. In fact, I suppose it would be appropriate of a Divine Crusader to be heading into an Oblivion Gate and trapping souls. Which, Daedra, in other words, the closest thing to demons that we have in this game, and most of the antagonists that we have to fight, they behave a little bit differently. Daedra do not die and are not born. Essentially, whenever you quote-unquote kill a Daedra, you actually depart their soul back to Oblivion for it to reconstitute itself in a different form in possibly minutes, or even a matter of years, or centuries. Aedra, in other words, the etymology of Aedra means our ancestors. That would refer to any of the good gods, the gods that are responsible for the artifacts of the Divine Crusader, as well as basically any of the human creatures or regular creatures you see. The Daedra, in other words, like this guy, you can see his relatively demonic appearance, but not everything that is a Daedra looks like a demon. It's really just a matter of which ones you know.
Good evening.
See, if I killed this guy... Oh, level up. Now, we're not doing the Brotherhood yet. It will probably happen in future, and some sort of an arc for our Fall of Grace.
Yes.
It will be a while before we get there. We're probably going to complete the Mages and Fighters Guild questlines first. Actually, a good way to start the Dark Brotherhood involves going through the arena, although... Yeah, we already got the Blade of Woe. So, we can start the Dark Brotherhood anytime. Hey, no, I'm talking to you.
It's about time someone from the Fighters Guild showed up. I've got work for you to do. I need imp gall for my research.
You know, I have quite a bit in my back pocket.
I need imp gall for my studies. 10 portions of it, in fact. Since I hired the Fighters Guild, I expect you to get it done. And carefully, please. You might check Robbers Glen Cave for the imp gall. That place has been known to contain the imps.
I might already have enough.
I'll be waiting right here.
And then she goes to bed angry. Welcome, Josh, and thank you for the sub. Is she okay? She's an Oblivion NPC, so she might look horrible on the outside, but she's probably doing well for herself on the inside. We have only 3. So, we will have to head out to that cave. Let's actually put that soul to use. Should be a lesser, right? I think we actually already used it.
Greetings, guildmate.
You assume she's having a stroke based off the way that her face is moving. Decursion, were you... I do believe you were here for when we were talking to that former steward of Janus Hasseldor. He was definitely having a stroke. He had the full asymmetrical face. Definitely when we play this game a second time around, making a new character, I'll at the very least make the NPCs look less absolutely horrible. The face gen program they actually used to get everyone's faces together was actually software made for generic background characters, rather than supposed to be used for people that you talk to directly and take up so much of the game time with. So it's kind of a consequence of Bethesda taking shortcuts for why everyone in this game looks so ugly. Laptop overheated, so it just crashed and you had to wait for it to turn on again. Hopefully that didn't take too long. Do leave your laptop in a relatively cool place if it's going to keep doing that. If your computer overheats too often, that's just going to make it wear down faster and faster. Me, I've been on a hard drive for about 5 years so far. That has definitely shown its age, as so many of my Skyrim playthroughs take longer and longer and longer to load. So I eagerly await a chance to use our SSD soon, whenever it arrives. Luckily here, we'll be able to gather plenty of souls. In fact, this might even be the sword that we use for the rest of the game, at least until we get to a very specific weapon in the Shivering Isles, which is undoubtedly the best weapon in the game. Or potentially most powerful. There we go. Not a bad find. 10 damage and an extra 15 from the shock damage. Also, a Grand Soul Gem in there, which we can use for a very nice enchant, but I'm not sure that there's anything we need to replace. Would have been a ring otherwise, but I think we're doing fine with everything so far. Also, it's probably just better for us to wait and use sigil stones for all of our enchanting. That Grand Soul Gem probably isn't worth enough for selling on its own. 150. Oh, and it only has a common soul inside. So, in other words, basically useless. So, we'll go ahead and expend that now. And reduce the load of our inventory bit by bit. A couple of them have fire spells, which aren't going to do much to us at all. We will still search for a bit more Imgall off these guys in here, as 1, we could use the alchemy effects, and 2, we could definitely use more souls for the sword. Oh, a Spriggan! Hello there. Ah, right. But since we have Kinnereth's boots, she's not going to attack us. Don't need that. Sell that. Interesting. Curious weapon. That one might actually be worth keeping. This is where we break out yet more feather potions. Spriggans are as their mana. Yeah, the blue bar in our bottom left. So you can play a wizard, or a fighter, or basically any mix of characters you want. You start out making class, but that determines which skills you start out better than based. That determines which skills you start out better than average on. Though you can essentially just put together whatever skills you want. In fact, we do partake in our destruction magic pretty frequently. Funny how we started out as a science boy, somewhat of a sneaky destruction mage, but now we have gone straight on to some good old crusading. You wouldn't expect a scientist to be a religious type. In the Elder Scrolls universe, mana is referred to as magicka, with a CK at the end. As shown here. Magic K-A. Funny enough, I don't think it ever actually is referred to mana in Elder Scrolls. Bring the like back. I'm gonna need that. Let's see how our soul gems are doing. We've had a lot of them being carried around, and most of them are filling up the lesser souls here, which we can use for, well, anything we're carrying. That chest next to this brigand was definitely the loot chest, as that was the one that had the best stuff for us to find. But now, well, that way is blocked. So I do think that means that we have gone through the entirety of this tunnel. Wisp stalk caps. I forget what those are necessary for. Ah, very good for poisons. They have entirely negative effects. And mash this. That wouldn't have been worth it if I wasted lockpicks on that, but again, we have the skeleton key. And from here on out, we no longer have to worry. If we start out with Fighters and Mages Guild in this game, then perhaps when we get to our Skyrim playthrough, we might want to start out with our, Thieves Guild stuff. After all, the Thieves Guild is where you find the skeleton key in Skyrim, and I'd like to have that as soon as possible. Also note, when we do get to Skyrim, I will absolutely not be playing vanilla Skyrim. I'm going to mod the heck out of it. But it should still be immediately recognizable as Skyrim to anyone who joins the stream. Is that a white horse or is that the unicorn? That's the unicorn! How'd you get all the way over here? Pardon me while I... You can barely see the horn at the front. So the unicorn actually resides in a place around, Arcane Grove. And for some reason, the unicorn has followed us all the way out here. I do believe the unicorn is actually hostile to us normally, but as a quirk of how horses work in Elder Scrolls, if you that would have been one of the Spriggans guarding. There's only one unicorn in the game, and there's a quest specifically to kill it. Now, the horse may immediately attack us once we dismount, and it also technically doesn't count as our horse, meaning it will probably go wandering back to the grove once we leave the city. We spend our time in here, and it will probably take a moment very soon to turn right back around and head back to the grove. It's part of a quest. It's just by coincidence that we happened upon it. Although the quest to kill it does give us one of the better items in the game. The Savior's Hide, a light armor piece, which protects us against magic.
Imp gall for me yet? I've got some research I need to get to.
You can ride it whenever you find it, even if it counts as hostile. If the horse is there, the instant you mount it, it will follow your directions. But there are definitely mods to make it tameable, or even add other unicorns as a possibility.
You've got it. Looks fresh, too. I realize you'll be paid by your superior, but take this as well. It might come in handy in your work.
Now I gotta make all the way back to
Next
Coral, I believe.
On time, please.
Shield ring. But how much shield? 18%, that is exceptional. In fact, that might even be worth trading out the strength buff. Let's go ahead and head back to the Priory of the Nine. We can go ahead and put some stuff up. And I'm not going to be able to move. Oh, yeah. Actually, as a glitch, since that is the last horse that I've ridden, it counts as mine, so it will follow me whenever I fast travel. But whenever we fast travel to a place, you'll see how the horse immediately turned around and started walking away. Every single time we fast travel somewhere, it's going to turn around and try to walk back to the grove where it came from. We actually don't even need this anymore. I'll keep the mage's staff, as that's just a very good backup weapon for us. And as usual, every time we do this, we repair all of our items. Put the mace and the sword back on there. Helm. Gauntlets. Boots. Devilishly handsome fellow. Oh, and the shield. Altogether, we have 55% damage resistance, which is exceptional for a light armor build. Now, if we're quick enough, heal because the unicorn was slightly damaged. Now, where are we off to? I believe it's Coral, right? Yeah. We'll have to return to Coral. In fact, we can travel to the north side, and it should say something along the lines of, your horse is outside the city stables. Your horse is stabled outside the city gate. That's what it is.
What is it? Shouldn't you be taking care of Maglir's contract?
Why do you think I'm back here? I'm wearing armor, but in terms of function, I am kind of a spell sword. You'll see that I have been using a lot of destruction magic to supplement the swordplay. Magic in Oblivion kind of falls behind swordplay, but I assure you, when we get to our Skyrim playthrough, that is going to be all magic, all the time.
I can't believe we lost another to that bunch. Well done taking care of the contract, though. We can't afford to lose any of them these days. Here's your payment for completion of the contract. I think it's time for us to discuss the Blackwood Company a bit.
Oh boy, what do you have in mind?
They weren't always a threat. Small-scale mercenary band, until Riza Kar took over. Then came the fat Imperial contracts. After a mission in Blackmarsh, they set up shop in Leowin, more ruthless than ever. It needs investigating. First, though, you need advancement. Your service to the guild has not gone unnoticed. Henceforth, you will carry the rank of Defender. Bear the title proudly.
I do like that title. Very appropriate for a Crusader.
I've got something for you, but we're not going to talk about it here. I want you to meet me at my house after sundown. We'll talk more then.
Off the record, you say.
Hello.
So, magic in Morrowind is actually probably the strongest playstyle, as it has the most versatility. There's so many different spells in Morrowind. And even if you are playing a warrior type character or thief, it is very good to have some supplementary magic skills, as it lets you do basically everything in that game. Enchanting is also extremely powerful. In Oblivion, however, you used to have like 12 different slots you could equip things. In this one, it's just, I think, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, right, now start from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total slots. In Morrowind, actually, hold on, let me read this off, because it was way more than this. Let's see. How many equip slots in Morrowind? How many equip cards can a monster have? Okay, so that was a recommended search. Seems everyone's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. So, here we have a total of 9 different things that we can equip. But in Morrowind, we had shirt, pants, skirt, amulet, left ring, right ring, your chest plate, greaves, left pauldron, right pauldron, left gauntlet, right gauntlet, boots, helmet, belt, robe, your weapon, and a shield. Minus the one of the weapon, that is 17 total. Almost twice as much that you could equip. And actually, in Morrowind, you could apply a constant effect on self to your weapon, so technically you could carry 18 items that all buffed your stats. Oblivion, you don't really have as much that you can enchant to be powerful. And even worse than that, most of the, like this, Fortify Intelligence, Willpower, Conjuration, and Destruction. This is one of the better robes that you can get. In Vanilla Oblivion, robes don't ever really give you much benefit in terms of spellcasting. The difference being your spell effectiveness, which if you're wearing any armor caps out at 95%. And... okay, so... I have 60% damage resistance from wearing all this, and 95, like, in exchange for 5% less spell effectiveness? The trade-off is far more in favor of wearing armor, so being a pure mage in Oblivion doesn't really pay off, since there's not really robes that do much for you. Now, for example, there's a Skuro's Oblivion overhaul, which is a really big functional overhaul for Oblivion. At least get a little bit of a break from voice acting playing Oblivion. That is true, but it's also only, what, Deltarune and, it's only been Deltarune, oh right, Deltarune, Inscription, and Everhood that I've done the voice acting for. It is very nice to have a break from that. I can speak for a lot longer. Although I've immediately... Right. So, there are mods that actually give you robes with useful enchantments. But going off of vanilla Oblivion, you'll never really get any powerful robes that justify not wearing some form of armor. Right, we're over encumbered again. Let's actually take care of that and go sell off some of our stuff. Yeah, your taste can definitely change, Siphon, between... Oh, right.
I can eat for a day with a single coin. Thank you, kind sir.
I wonder where you're getting those prices.
Blessings of Julianus upon ye.
Oaken Crozier, that is an N. I do believe the... No, that's another... Right, here's the smith. So here's where we get to sell a couple of items.
I hope I can help. Perhaps you need new armor, a weapon. I have a large selection of...
Don't need this. And while this is a unique weapon, it's not really better than something we can make ourselves. We also don't need those gauntlets. Is there anything else we can sell? We'll be using the repair hammers eventually. I guarantee it. Actually, can you train us?
Knowledge is the key to success.
Your repair hammers
You've got
last twice as long.
Knowledge. Pay attention.
We will want to train that up to 50. What do I think of Ark? Ark Survival Evolved or Lost Ark? I don't know anything about the latter. Ark Survival Evolved is probably not something you'll see on this channel, as... While I like survival games, I don't plan on that being a cornerstone of the channel. Really, the closest thing you'll get to a survival game would be just me playing Minecraft, I guess. Survival Evolved, indeed. Very cool game. In fact, I would inquire you to ask Leviathan about Ark Survival Evolved.
Good, you're here. We've got duties to attend to.
There is a lot of reading in Morrowind, too, but from a game developer's perspective, I think that's actually better. Makes it easier to make more content, rather than just have a whole bunch of stuff that gets read off by a voice actor. That's very expensive, and another reason why the voices are so redundant in both Oblivion and Skyrim. Skyrim basically just has, like, 12 voice actors for most of the cast.
We'll talk later. Meet me at my house after dark.
Right. Well, it's going to be a long time before dark, so we'll come back to that later. With a text-only interface, that also means it's much easier for a modder to develop content, which is another reason for me to like Morrowind systems. Morrowind, in terms of atmosphere, I think definitely hits it home better than any of the other Elder Scrolls games. But as I said, I have been playing it lately, and in terms of the combat's okay, but a lot of the system mechanics are broken. We do not immediately have a quest to go back to the Mages Guild, but let's just see what we can find on the way there. I wonder, actually, a very good way to waste that time. We will have to come back to this gate eventually. We can turn the clock forward, but it's a little boring to just sit around and wait. Why wait when we could go on a quest, a journey, an adventure, a battle, or, more appropriately, a crusade? Also, there's alchemy ingredients in here I could use. Hey, guy. You, hanging out? Nothing useful on him. Shoot me. Yeah, fire damage. Not a problem for a dark elf. Oh, there you are. Hello, fire lady. You are also not a problem. We'll take that. Now we're at the level where we start finding fire Atronachs. And in time we'll find frost, and then the most powerful, storm Atronachs. Which are my favorite. When I was a little kid, I went nuts. Storm Atronachs have an incredibly wonderful design in... Excuse me, every single Elder Scrolls game they're a part of. We definitely need a better healing spell at this point. Yeah, we'll need to remember that next time we're at the, Arcane University. A caged prisoner, huh? Doesn't look like there's much of him left. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. You know, there's these things called the Punished, and if you look, that thing's moving. I don't think we're ever given a good explanation as to why. And I'd like to not think about it too much. I don't think there's much of anything of use for us down there. Maybe some more alchemy ingredients, but there are going to be about 60 Oblivion gates everywhere else. Now, what I need to find is a way up the tower, which will probably involve going onto the floor below us. I do hope your tinnitus gets better, Siphon. How did you get over here? You were on a different bridge. Ratio, hold this L. And Dremora in this game are actually Black Souls. They were Greater Souls in Morrowind. Now, we'll just see if we can save before we try something foolish, like taking this jump. Which worked out just fine for us. Here's the way we go up. Yeah, we are sort of in the back rooms of Oblivion. What engaging combat. Though if we can't trap a flame Atronach, that should mean that our Zura Star, which would probably be worth binding somewhere. But to where? Let's do it on 6. Slowly open that door and ready our light again. always keep a watch on the ceilings, as there is a specific trap which has blades coming from the ceiling. Like here. And on the way back up, they can't fall down. Not bad. We are approaching the maximum amount of our encumbrance, so we will need to be careful about what we take out of here. Although we can definitely sit down and, well, we are over encumbered now, so let's get by with a little bit of alchemy, shall we? Now, what do we have a lot of? Fly Amanita. We want to look and see what we have that has Restore Health, and what would be lightest with Restore Health. A good selection of items. We will sort by weight here, and look at the first 2 items we come across in this list that have Restore Health listed. Karen Bullet Cap, and appropriately, the Fly Amanita. So we will combine those 2. Start by making your lightest potions first. Karen Bullet. And just make a whole bunch of those. Then your heaviest. And then you can just sort of spread it out. Damage endurance. Yeah. That should be good for now. Aloe Vera will want to combine with anything that restores fatigue. Maybe later, though. I think it would be better if we held off on the aloe vera and waited to brew the best possible potions with that. Shouldn't there be... There they are! Flax seeds. We can combine that with whatever else is very light and has Restore Magicka. The steel blue caps. Okay. Or fire salts. But fire salts we might want to use for the fire damage effect they provide. We can make very powerful poisons with those setups. It was... Oh, what was it? It was the steel blue and... yeah. That one. And combined with flax seeds. For a very good Restore Magicka. We'll also want some more damage health poisons. So let's go ahead and look there. Harada. And Nightshade. Actually, hold on. Nightshade. Wait, no, it was, what was just after it? Wisp Stalk Caps. Damage health, willpower, and intelligence. There was something in here that had 2 of those effects. Or perhaps I was mistaken. Yeah, seems I was mistaken. Alright, we'll just combine this with Nightshade, Peony Seeds, Harada, although it would be good to save Harada for later. We can brew some more powerful poisons. And St. John's wort nectar. Sacred Lotus we might want to save for the actual feather effects. There, that just lightened us up by about 13 pounds. And we have some refreshing potions and poisons for us to use. The poisons are not so refreshing. Too expensive and not worth the money it would give us. You should be a common soul, I believe, right? No, lesser. Alright. Let's go ahead and double check that Azura Star. And we will need to use that periodically. Check in. Oh wait, no. That wasn't a chest, that was just another fountain. Climb our way slowly up the tower here. And hello there. Oh, the Dremora too. We should definitely make a lot more use of our destruction magic. We do have a very powerful variety of spells available to us, after all. Blood Fountain give us a bit of passive regeneration. And here they come marching in. Don't you dare! Ratio. Oh no! Use the burden spell. Quick, find something to drop. Something heavy. Or, better yet, just drink a feather potion. And while we're at it, a health potion. Not much of a loot chest, but fine. And you too. Hold this cell, and this ratio. Very good staff he dropped. We also have a chance for another level up. And we're not going to save Scum for the Redstone, not until we reach level 17, which is where we start finding the best ones. But let's see what that one does. It was the frost damage one, with the alternate effect of water walking. And sit back. Watch the explosion happen. And that only took us about 4 hours in game. So, not much of a quest it is.
Greetings.
Let's go find our way over to a merchant, sell off some of our stuff, and it's a good time to level up.
We're all in your debt for closing that Oblivion gate outside the city. Well done.
See? They already know of our
I
exploits.
offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Not nearly enough damage. We can sell that. Welcome back, Siphon.
You too.
Let's see, we have about 90 points of feather. What else could we sell? Right! We could find an alchemist and sell a lot of our useless potions. As well, we could also brew some useless potions. Let's do that. What do we have a lot of? Ectoplasm. Dispel potions. I don't really think there's any use of that yet. We need to do something especially useless. Light frost damage or cure paralysis. Now this is a properly useless ingredient, made even worse by the fact that it has nothing that it shares effects with. Water hyacinth nectar is good for... Interesting! We have 2 cases of vampire dust here. We'll wait to use this until we can get the 4 effects out of it, and then just probably use this as potions for us to sell. Spittle stick makes for some of the best poisons in the game. Daedra Heart combined with... we're out of different wait, no. There's a bit of restore health. Mort flesh. Damage, fatigue, and luck. We'll just brew together a couple of useless potions. Or poisons, in the case of some of them. Mostly just for stuff for us to sell off. Rat meat, we can go ahead and combine that with... mutton. Ectoplasm might be more important later, as we could combine that shock damage for very high damage poisons, so we'll wait on that one. Clouded funnel cap. I don't know if that gets a better effect later, so we'll go ahead and brew it together, just to get some things to sell off. There, that has substantially reduced our encumbrance, and we'll go ahead and sell off that stuff to the alchemist here.
Your quest for the crew. Let's do business.
And show me what's most expensive first.
An excellent bargain.
Actually, let's go ahead and do our most weighty potions and poisons.
You've made a good bit of...
We'll definitely want those, just in case. We don't care about an invisibility potion. Nor Night Eye. Resist magic for that small amount, not useful. Don't need that. Don't need that.
That seems a fair price.
There's never going to be a situation where we remember we have a potion of Detect Life. In fact, most of these, not so much. We'll mostly be concerned with the restore effects we have on these. Restore fatigue we want to keep. But the less useful poisons, go ahead and sell. Fortify strength. No, I think we can use that, especially since those are so lightweight. The restore attribute, though, we can definitely get rid of. And resist poison.
A good price.
That's probably it for the things worth selling. Can't sleep in that bed, so we'll find another one. We'll say it's time for a lovely afternoon nap. Get some of that beauty sleep for the Crusader. After dark, let's assume that means after 7, right? Biggest buffs to intelligence, endurance, and... Let's go for strength. Or willpower. Regenerate magicka, fatigue. Yeah, strength actually just lets us hoard more loot. Like the goblin we are.
Hello, guildmate.
Now, actually, we can go back and get even more training done, using the fact that we just sold off a bunch of stuff for gold, and took a nice nap.
A pleasure. Knowledge is the key.
If we get that up to
There's much
level 50,
Pay attention.
then we can
Pay
actually
attention.
repair enchanted items.
You've got a lot to... Good that you want to get better.
What is our armor?
You
34. Get that to 50, and we can repair enchanted items. Which is basically the biggest roadblock you have. After that, you can just get as high as you want. On most characters, you'll reach the level 50 armor after the point that you're usually carrying around enchanted items. So it might be good to invest in that skill early on. Therefore, you can try to have that closer to ready
Good,
by the time
you're
you
here.
are using
We've
enchanted
got
stuff.
duties to attend to.
What do we got?
Duty. That's what all this is about, isn't it? The Blackwood Company is destroying us. They steal our contracts. They steal our members. It's our duty to strike back. We need to make a move against them. And we need to do it now. I've been looking into them, heard some disturbing things. We know they're a danger to us, and we know they're good at what they do. Velena's gotten tentative since the Blackheart mission. She's worried about getting us killed. But we're just getting killed a little bit at a time.
Uh-huh. You know, one of those video essayists I mentioned did have an interesting perspective on this one.
That mission was the start of it. That was when Vitelis was killed. We were contracted by a wizard, Argoth, to recover an artifact from Blackheart. I went in there with 20 men. I left with 5. Vitelis wasn't one of them. He died covering our retreat.
In the Blackwood
I
Company?
snooped around. Apparently, they completed that contract for us. I went in there with 20 good men. I can't believe that bunch finished the job. There's more. Argoth, he's dead. The artifact gone. Sounds like a setup. Maybe they made a deal with Blackheart. I don't know. But I'll find out.
So what now?
Now we find out what really happened. And we let it be known. I want to show the people who the Blackwood Company really are. I can't order you to do this with me. It's dangerous, and Velena isn't going to know about it. It's your choice.
I don't imagine we have a choice, actually. Oblivion might have actually granted us a choice, but I have been playing a lot of Skyrim, and I'm pretty sure this just basically leaves us at sort of an impasse here.
We leave
So,
as soon as
fine.
you're ready. I want to investigate Blackheart's stronghold in Arpenia. Meet me at the Leowen Guild Hall. We'll go from there. Let's go.
So, that leaves us sort of as a off-the-record conflict that we have with the Blackwood Company. Something for us to solve. You know, we just have basically a competing company which is doing better than us. But it sounds like Mordrin here is trying to set it up to where we permanently run them out of business, which is a little sketchy. So I would say that is something we can save for next time after a bit of consideration. This is going to be a very dense streaming week, so I'd like to cut this one off shortly after the 2-hour mark, just to be a little responsible. Let's see. Tomorrow we have Franbo, and a Guilty Gear tournament on Friday. Then Saturday, we'll figure out something to play. But starting next week, we should have a lot of new and very different games for us to handle. So we'll focus on that when we get to it. And hopefully, get in a lot more representation. I'd like to do, basically, streams that guide more people onto the channel. So some of our less popular streams, I might go ahead and drop just for a time. But we can definitely focus on those in the future. Probably space it out a bit better. Do one of our viewer retention streams, but try to do 2 things that give us new content to focus on. But until then, you've all been a wonderful class, and thank you for your attendance. Of course, I'm going to have to go ahead and shill Leviathan here, who has another stream tonight, and I think you might want to check this one out. If you are looking for more comfy adventure survival things, since we did mention Ark, she will be playing Valheim this evening, and has a wonderful surprise to show you all, which I think you should enjoy. So, be there. I will. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams to you too, Harris. Siphon, Decursion, Kayla. Leviathan, perhaps. Broham, Josh, welcome to the class. James, and that looks to be everyone who spoke this evening. Thank you, everyone.